what do y'all say we do a little story time, but at the same time, I put on my makeup? So let's go ahead and get started with that right now. Alright, so I'm going to tell you all the story about how my grandma faked having a service dog just so she can get into a store. And she bought this at a thrift store, like the service dog vest. I'm not kidding. So bear with me as I tell you all this story. I'm not kidding. A quick trigger warning: if you are very sensitive to this, then I recommend skipping, or whatever it is. If you don't feel comfortable hearing this, then yeah. I'd like to say that for some context, I do not condone anything that I'm about to describe what my grandma did, as I think this is very inappropriate and very offensive how she literally faked having a service dog. So let's go ahead and get started. So, for some context, my grandma literally, by all means, found a service dog vest at a thrift store. Yes, I will not say what the thrift store is called for privacy reasons. However, I will say it was a thrift store, and by all means, she bought it anyways. Which, I'm not kidding when I say she bought it. She literally bought it. I'm not joking by all means. I'm not kidding. She bought the service dog vest, even though her dog is not an is not a service dog, sorry. Wrong word. So the next thing that happened is later on, she went to a store. She literally, by all means, like, went to a store. I don't know what store it was, but I'm convinced it was a Walmart. Maybe it was a Walmart, maybe it wasn't. However, she went to a store. She put that vest, the so called service dog vest, on her dog, and the dog did not do anything other than just do what fake service dogs do. I'm not kidding. So, one second. Like, I am not kidding. And I'm not kidding when I say that my grandma was a total Karen, which she still is a Karen, but whatever. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to make any excuses other than I do not condone any of her actions. Like I said, I hate the fact that she literally faked a service dog. I hate that because at the end of the day, it puts literally other handlers at risk, like actual service dog handlers at risk. I don't condone it at all. Period. So what happened next, and you may be thinking, did my grandma tell me this? The answer is no. My mom told me that my grandma literally by all means decided to fake a service dog. This was like according to what my mom said. She literally told me this story. Like, aka my mom told me this story. And yeah, my mom told me this story. I am not kidding by at all by any means. So just keep that in mind. So yeah. And if y'all think that my grandma's an entitled brat, you are correct. She is an entitled brat. That's just how my grandma acts. And she's just entitled, and yeah, that's one thing I want to say. So yeah, that's really all I want to say. Now, for some context, I'd also like to say how, like, since I do not condone, keyword not condone, any of her actions, I'd also like to say how her actions were very inappropriate and very rude and very just not good. So yeah. And I know how much it would put you guys, the actual service dog handlers, at risk. So that's why I decided to share the story, so that way I can share a little fun lesson for the day. Whatever it is you want to say. So really, just to wrap up the story, I'd like to say this very quickly. It's okay. Please do not, and I mean it, do not by any means fake a service dog. It puts real service dog handlers at risk for many things. So just keep that in mind. Please, by all means, do not fake a service dog. And lastly, please do not ask to pet a service dog. The dog is working, okay? So just keep that in mind. And second of all, here's why you should, we all probably know why service dogs should not be pet, like, as in, like, that sort of, like, if you know what I mean. Here's what I mean. You could, like, when you put the handler at risk, you're putting the service dog, the real service dog, at risk. And by all means, if the dog is being distracted by you or whatever it is, the dog literally could miss out on an alert, and that could put the handler at really big risk. So that is why you do not ask to pet a service dog, and that is and the reason as to why you should not fake a service dog is because service dogs are actually trained in helping people. Emotional support animals are not service dogs, period. And lastly, I'd also like to make it very clear how if you fake not ESA, sorry. If you fake a service dog, you're disgusting because you're literally putting everyone at risk. You're putting like actual service dogs at risk, you're putting the handlers at risk, you're putting everyone at risk because it's just not very, all I'm saying is that it's just very rude and very immature and very inappropriate. That's like literally my point. So all I'm saying is at the end of the day, please do not fake a service dog. At the end of the day, it's super rude and super inappropriate and immature. And when you're putting everyone at risk, at the end of the day, the handler could potentially die, they could potentially get hurt, or the dog could get hurt, or whatever it is whatever it is gonna happen if you fake a service dog kind of thing. The handler could die, the handler could get hurt, the dog can die, the dog can get hurt, aka what I mean by the dog is the service dog, keep that in mind. But at the end of the day, please do not fake a service dog, it's just really not okay. And at the end of the day, emotional support animals don't have, by any means, are not trained to do anything. They just help with your emotions. That's all ESAs do. So just keep that in mind. And in conclusion of this entire wrap up of the story, do not fake a service dog. It is not okay. Thank you. If there is anything that I had missed, if there is anything that I have mistaken, or or if I misspoke, please let me know so that way I can That way I can remake this or make an apology video, whatever it is you want to say, or if I'm missing anything. Thank you.